We are going to talk about the gripes that I have with season 2 of The Alienist. Now, I want to specify that I loved the first season, it was amazing, and I always try not to compare seasons with the ones previous because, sometimes when it's a really good, like, where I'm like, whoa, this is like the best show I'm going to recommend to everyone, sometimes the second seasons don't always live up to it. Case in point, The Haunting of Hill House with Bly Manor. Yes, they're not like, it's not a second season because, it's an anthology, but you know what I mean. Now, here are my gripes with this. Let's just show this season, right? First of all, obviously, I have to talk about Marcus. It was the dumbest thing that they killed off this man. It was for no reason. Literally, it did not help the plot. It did not move the plot. It did not make anything in the sense of like the characters. It did not build up Lucius. It was for no reason. It was for the dumbest reason. Like, literally, it did nothing. And the thing is, they didn't show Marcus and Lucius enough. Like, they had, like, Lucius, they had cute moments with Bitsy and stuff, but they didn't really show them a lot. They didn't really grow their character enough for me to feel like this love towards these characters. So when Marcus just dies, and he just dies because of a gunshot, and it was just so this moment of like, oh, he can't be dead, and then the next shot is, oh, he's dead. And the thing is, in the funeral, no one is crying. No one looks sad. They look like if Lucius adopted a pet bird and it died and they're all there just to be like, "Oh, sorry, your pet bird died." Like that's it. I was like, "Why is no one crying? Why are they all calm? Why are they acting out like he wasn't murdered?" And like the thing is, I thought like, "Oh, maybe Sarah's going to feel a little bit guilty because she did tell Libby where her child was, and then Libby and Gugu ended up murdering Marcus." And it's weird because they didn't murder Lucius, but then they murdered Marcus. And it was like, both or neither, man. Like, I get why they killed Sergeant Doyle because this man decided to antagonize a unstable serial killer woman. But, like, and the thing is, okay, so you have Chief Thomas Byrnes. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm not gonna try. But Chief Thomas, right? The dude who this whole entire episode season, I do not care. I was like, this man is just an a-hole. He's just mean. He is wanting to aspire to be a type of like societal standard, but he's not there. Like they literally treat him badly, but he's still trying, and it's like, why, man? He is the same Chief Thomas who told Lucius, "Hey, if you don't give me information, I'm gonna kill Marcus." And then this man has the audacity to go to his funeral and be like, "Marcus was one of us. So sorry, R.I.P." And then Lucius is like, "Yeah, and holds his hand. What? Why didn't they have Lucius yelling at him, screaming at him, being like, what, how, the audacity of you being here after saying that you were going to murder my brother? Like, huh?" And the thing is, there was no repercussions, zero repercussions on Lucius for giving out that information. Like, they made this thing of like, oh, we have to keep it secret because because there's a war between Spain and the US and Cuba, and it meant nothing. It was just like a little background thing for, I don't even remember what her name was, the Spaniard consulate's wife. That was all it was. Linares. Why am I saying with an accent? I speak Spanish. But it was like La Señora Linares. It was. Uh, it meant nothing. Like, they were like, oh, she's hiding, and then they put in the papers, but it did nothing for the plot. There was no repercussions for the fact that, oh, they did say that her kid was kidnapped. It meant nothing. No effects happened. Nothing. And then they just disappear. Senora Linares and the ambassador just, they don't matter anymore, so we're gonna throw them away. And the whole plot of, oh my god, a war is coming and we hate Spaniards, also just throw that away because now we're focusing on Libby. And the thing is, I have no crimes with Libby. Her actress was phenomenal. She did an amazing job. She portrayed that character like nobody else. I was actually really loved her as I guess a villain, and how she was so smart and people just underestimated her because she was a woman. And I was so happy when I would see her. I was like, you go. Which I don't know if that's ideal since she did kill people, but anyways. Also, Sergeant Doyle, they wanted me to feel pity for that man. They wanted me to feel bad. Isn't he a bully? harassing people. I don't, when, like, he literally antagonized a serial killer. Do you want me to feel bad when he died? I didn't care. I don't, like, I was like, okay, okay, like, he's mean and he died. Did he deserve it? I mean, no, but still, I don't care for this unempathetic character. And then oh god, this was, okay, so the whole lying in hospital thing, yes, what is her name? Matrona? Matron. It was also a red herring. This woman was just a weirdo who had this hatred towards women, but also wanted to be, from a high societal standard. And I thought that it was gonna be this whole thing of like her and the other man, which I don't remember his whatever, Dr. Marco, that, they were like killing women and like, yes, they were killing babies, I think, but they were like it just literally after Libby was arrested or whatever and they brought back the baby, everything else forgotten. It was like they forgot in the wind. Like they forgot that they were sterilizing women. They forgot that they were stealing babies or selling them or killing them or whatever it was they were doing. It was like it didn't matter. Dr. Marco's unethical procedures didn't matter. The fact that mistresses didn't matter. It was like it was just like they forgot about it and they just were like, we're just going to pretend like it just never happened. And I was like, are we forgetting that they treated all these women very unfairly, and that the whole beginning of what's her name, the woman that they murdered, basically, Nap. I forgot her first name. So sorry. She literally is the reason why this whole thing happens. They murder her because they're like, oh yeah, she killed her child and we're gonna electric chair. And then they were like, oh no, she didn't. And then it just was like nothing. Like they just all ignored it. And but the thing is, apparently, like, huh? Like the Libby story was much more obviously exciting, but the fact that they just completely, like, even Laszlo says it, that the hospital has created this toxic environment that has clouded and let a killer be able to just be there, which is Libby. But it just felt like things were just gone, let into the wind, and it wasn't concrete what happened, and it wasn't like there wasn't like I was like, what? That's so interesting. Like, why they're not saying what's happening? Why aren't they investigating? Or like, I get that it's because like missing babies, but like, they really just let everything pretend like nothing happened. And the story with Colleen and Dr. Marco, I obviously he was probably abusing her, but like also, it was led into the like no one. It literally after Bitsy almost died again, they just left that in the wind. They just let it go. Like they were holding on to that little plot in a little paper, and then after they just were like, "Oh, Libby's gone, and we don't have to talk about the hospital anymore." They just let it go. And I was like, "But what about Colleen? What? Why was she chasing Bitsy? Like I get that she was pissed, but why was she chasing her like a serial killer? The only reason was to get her into Libby, and then Libby to stab her. Like there was just like, huh? What? I did like the juxtaposition between Libby and Sarah, since they were similar in the sense of like they were both well off families. They both lost their fathers. They both had mothers that didn't care for them. Obviously, one of them went to another extreme and was more mentally unstable because she lived through very despicable things done by her own mother. And you have Sarah, who saw herself in Libby, and I thought that was nice. Another thing, Libby and John. I was like, okay, so they're finally talking. He got a fiance somewhere. I don't like her. She's mean and she's like, oh, why don't you pay attention to me? And then her whole chat of like, I know like he's a man and he's supposed to have a mistress, but we haven't even started yet. And I'm like, huh? But like the fact that they made me go through those many episodes of are they not, are they? And then you tell me. I knew it. The moment I knew it, I knew they were gonna pull something that like the woman is pregnant, and oh, they pulled it. They pulled, instead of letting me have my happiness of letting John and Sarah be together and be like, you know what, John? I mean, you know what, Sarah? I don't need a child. I'm okay with you. And the thing is, they even said that in the funeral. He was like, I want you. And then why, in God's name, would they have to pull out the pregnancy card from the other woman? Like, to show us that John's gonna live an unhappy life with his new father-in-law, and I guess he cares for his wife potentially, and he will love his kid. But like, why make us go through that? Like, why? Like, you have Sarah develop these, you know, finally be able to confront her feelings, being comfortable with expressing her emotions for nothing. Nothing. Laszlo had a love interest. Karen Stratton. I loved her character. I thought she was very nice. Good combination between the two. Um, but I was like, are we forgetting the last season where he literally like I like that he evolved as a character, but I would have liked a little bit of callbacks to him talking about like his, not first love, but like, a love that ended in shambles and murder and death, but something that really, changed him. And I just felt like it was not talked about. It was not like forgotten completely. It just felt like some things were just like pushed in there to be there, but for no reason. And I was just like, I don't, why is this? Why is Chief Thomas, man? I don't like him. I was like, and then they're like wanting me to like him, and I'm like, are we forgetting that he's not a nice dude? And then he's like, I don't know, man. I just so many things, so many things. But yeah, things I did like Libby's character. I enjoyed Libby's character. I enjoyed Bitsy. I enjoyed the Sarah in her detective thing. The oh my god, William's character, William Randolph Hearst. That man was annoying, and I was like, you really want me to like root for him or something? Cause I'm not. Dr. Marco also didn't care about him. Ana Linares was like the cutest baby, but Senora Linares, like I understand that it just felt so weird. It was like why. But yeah, I the whole ending to this season with the fact that he's now staying with Miss Violet, who insults him in public and makes fun. Like I just didn't like her. Like I don't know if I feel like it would have been different if they would have made her a more likable character, but she wasn't, so I did not care for her. So every time she appeared, I'd be like, divorce her. And things are not even married, so like just drop the engagement. Like you're really gonna marry into that father with that father-in-law? Like just drop it. But okay. So that was like cool. And then you have Sarah kind of doing her own thing, which I really liked, and the fact that she kind of accepted that, that the person that she loves is just gone. And Laszlo was gonna go in Vienna and go chilling and living his life. And I'm like, is this the ending? Or are they not? They just. I feel like I don't know, man. I feel like they could have focused on Libby more instead of giving us the whole creepy hospital, the creepy matron, the creepy doctor, him and Colleen chasing Bitsy, making it seem like she's gonna murder her. But it just, I don't know, man. Like the fact it could have been the thing they gave us like these stories, but without developing them. The fact that there's the research wing where they have like mistresses and they're like taking out the reproductive organs and blah blah blah. But no, we're not gonna talk about that at all. And then we're gonna completely forget about it and then move on. And we're also not gonna talk about Martha Naps or Snaps or whatever because we accidentally murdered her. Like yeah, yeah, this is it. This is how much I'm just gonna let it at that. I feel like I've talked about enough about my gripes with this season. Um yeah, I just kind of wanted to complain. So this is me complaining. If you're listening, please tell me what were your gripes because I would love to listen to people and what were their angers towards this season. I liked it. I enjoyed it and I was like, and Libby, all the scenes with her, I loved. Um all the scenes with John and Sarah as well, Laszlo and his love interest, Karen Stratton. But the overall, it just kind of was falling apart. Like as much as I love the characters, it was falling. It was falling. And Marcus and Lucius was another thing that I was just like, no reason. So, anyways, bye. I guess I never know how to awkward. Bye.